It's podcast time. I'm feeling so uplifted. I had the pleasure of having a conversation with Bushkin from Heartless Crew. We spoke about what Bushkin's up to now. He's doing so much positivity for the youth. Great advice on for any young person who's trying to achieve a dream, the things that they really need to focus on and think about. And there's from that. We touched on the barriers that he has faced as a Black UK artist and so much more. I recommend you tuning into this one. Hopefully, you'll come out feeling just as positive as me. But I would love the legendary Bushkin. Okay, cool. Let's get on to it. So, no, honestly, thank you for giving me your very, very busy time, giving up your
No,
time to speak to me.
no worries. I must say thank you for your patience. You've got the patience of an angel. Literally, I've been,
No,
oh
seriously,
wow.
honestly, it's an honor. You're a legend. And the reason why I say you're a legend, not just because of everything that you've done, but because there's only a few artists and groups and MCs that can bring a vibe that no matter how I'm feeling, whether I'm up, whether I'm down, I can put on a tune and it puts me in a different energy.
No, well, thank you.
No,
Bless you.
no.
Thank you for your kind words.
Good.
I'm humbled.
So how are you? Are you good?
Yeah, very good, man. I'm always good to be with you. I'm a lover of life, man. So I'm always on top of the world. Yeah, I'm always happy and bubbly and yeah, I'm in good spirits.
Good. So obviously, I want to talk to you about what you've been up to, talk to you
Yeah.
about kind of the advice for the next generation, when they want to
Yes.
achieve something, but it feels like it's something that's too far away. Talk about any challenges that you face as a UK Black artist, and also music's
Yes.
role in kind of a societal change and what we can do as an industry to kind of help the younger generation to understand that they can break any boundaries. So
Yes, man. I
first,
love all of that. And very
yeah.
all good questions and good positive stuff. So yes, man. I
Good.
love
So
all of
what
that.
have you been up to? Are you doing music as much as before?
Yeah, I've doing it. I've actually set up a independent record label.
Good.
But yeah, so that's my main focus at the moment. So I'm like still making music myself, but also trying to cultivate some younger artists and kind of building like a unit and a family kind of team, similar to what I done with Heartless Crew. But this time it's that Heartless Crew was like 3 people, it's essentially an act. This time, like it's a label, so we can house many more people. And I'm trying to generally with record labels, they shark artists. Artists don't get
Mm.
the real like Jews, they don't really get the money, they don't really get the respect, and they definitely don't get the love. So I'm trying to kind of be a different label. I
Yeah.
call my label the label by the artist for the artists.
Oh,
Um,
that's so good. Because
yeah, so being an
you're
artist.
right. I think that there is like a bit of a perception that when you get signed, you're almost signing yourself to the devil because you are used as a commodity. So
That's
when there
that
are
is
independent labels that are emerging, especially from legends, people who have come up from, not I wouldn't say struggles, because again I don't actually know your background, but who have worked hard to
yes.
get to where they are, you would have the understanding and the compassion and the empathy. Whereas I feel like some of the other people who are just in it for the money just don't have the same attitude.
Yes, exactly right. Those words you use, empathy, passion, yeah, yes, and these are kind of words I pride myself on. And I mean, in the industry, in the music industry in generally in business, you understand, them kind of words are a myth, man. No one uses them, you understand? I'm trying to pride our business and build it out of love, you understand? And a lot of people, they say family and business don't mix, but I'm trying to prove everyone wrong with that, you understand? And build a family business, you understand? Family meaning actual family and my friends. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. That's kind of my main focus. I'm still gigging, doing bits with the Heartless Crew. I mean, we're on BBC Radio 1 Extra every Sunday.
Oh, good.
So so that keeps us busy also.
When's your next
Um,
gig? When is your next gig?
we've actually got a very busy bank holiday weekend, so we're
Right.
doing. I've got something on. Well, I'm actually doing a video on Friday.
Yeah.
For one of the tunes we've done, and then on the Saturday we're doing a mansion party in Windsor.
Okay.
This is for these guys called Run Rally. They do a kind of cannibal run kind of car race type thing. So they're having a big swanky mansion parties with all the big cars and hot tubs and stuff. So that will be fun. And then on the Sunday, I'm doing a smaller kind of event. It's in West London. It's in a out the type of events for social distance and stuff like that. Like a jungle garage unity type event. And then after that, I'm doing another party, which is a secret location one.
Yeah.
And then on the Monday, we're doing 2 live streams as Heartless Crew, and then we're doing a gig in Heathrow.
Wow.
Another outdoor event.
Love
So
that.
yes.
I absolutely love that. And that's the thing. The legacy that you've built, you will always get gigs. You will always get gigs because again, it's not just about the music, it's about the vibe.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's what we always prided ourselves on, and said no matter what kind of happened musically, like music's changed. Obviously, we started with a sound system. People don't necessarily know that, so it gave us a really good foundation and it enabled us to play all different types of music. But then as the genres changed, the garage, the grime, the whatever, people would always kind of still book us because, like you said, it's more about the vibe and the atmosphere that we bring, opposed to the genre of music.
Exactly. So I'm all about empowering and educating people. And I have a particular passion for the younger generation because to me, that's kind of where it is. That's where the change is. So what advice would you give to any young person who wants to achieve a dream, but it feels out of reach?
I mean, first thing first, you have to have like self-belief. You understand? Everything comes down to their self. You understand?
Yeah.
And even some people like may call you selfish. You understand? But selfish isn't necessarily a bad thing because you do need to give your time self. You need to be selfish and give yourself time. You need to put like time into yourself ultimately if you want to achieve your dream. You understand? Because ultimately it's your dream. You understand? So yeah, man, you really do need to dig deep and believe. You need to, you understand, you need to kind of almost see yourself doing it and believe like that you've already almost done it already. You understand? Because your mind, you can think things into existence basically, and you can then by thinking it, then you can speak things into existence. So there's like little things, mantras you can do. You understand? I mean, I've read a lot of self-help books. You understand? And they help you. Yeah, they help you to develop yourself and I mean, again, getting up and listening to motivational speakers, you understand? Lifting your spirits. Definitely what's aided me is having a good support network. Like my mum has been like very positive and she's installed some really good foundations, like foundation stuff into me. She always used to say, oh, you're the head and not the tail. If God is with you, who could be against you? You understand? Lots of little things like that she used to always like install in me. You understand?
And you know what, visualization, I agree with you, it makes such a difference because if you create your own barriers then they will appear.
That's right. These things they're not easy, but that's what I'm giving a few different options because there's no one way to it. You understand? Like they said, there's more than one way to skin a cat. So there's different ways, and if you can mix up all the different techniques, you understand? Kind of into a good position. But yeah, definitely having a good support network. I found as well, like I used to be out there a lot in the world with everyone, and I used to like go to my grand's on a Sunday, and that was like my safe haven. It used to charge me back up. I'll be back at my grand, and I'm normalized. I'm just back to my old self. Everyone called my first name basis. I'll take the bins out, do this or do that, and it just normalized me. But it just used to energize me. I'm out all week, basically. Everyone wants this and they want that, and Bushkin and where this, that, and having the hype. And then on Sunday, it was just a nice time for me to recharge, be back with my family in a safe haven, you understand, and just talk and they just deal with me just at the old school, basically. And
that's right.
Yeah, it's priceless, you understand? So again, good family support network, having good, genuine friends, you understand? And like in saying having good, genuine friends, you've got to be really honest with yourself. Most people these days don't want well for you. You understand? You're gonna find a lot of people are jealous and bad minding you and stuff like that. So you have to be very vigilant. You understand?
Yeah.
In picking your friends. And I mean, again, this is stuff that my mum taught me. She said, like, discernment and wisdom. You understand? She always used to say discernment and wisdom, discernment and wisdom. You understand? So you can discern situations, you can discern characters, and you've got to use your wisdom. You've got to be wise, you understand, in situations. And as she used to say to me, understanding and acceptance are two of the best things. You understand? Being able to understand something for what it really is, and being able to accept it for what it is. And when you can accept things, it alleviates a lot of problems. You understand? A lot of times we know things, but we're not accepting them.
Yeah,
So
no,
it
I agree.
becomes it drains us, and it causes a problem, and we end up getting grey hairs, or we're worried about this, and we're trying to fight things, and some of the stuff we can't change.
Yeah, exactly. And letting go of things, people, you know, all of the things that you, like you said, you understand and you accept, and then you take action to make the changes, you
That's
know.
right. Yeah. So that's right. So yeah. I mean, if the young, I mean, it's really tricky for young people these days, because the world's moving so fast. Everything's like bite size, and there's, again, love is becoming a thing of the past, especially with all that this the social media and this, like, the social distancing and the masks. You understand?
I
It's
know.
taken away the connection and the feeling. You
Yeah.
understand? So it's hard to really get that. So even this stuff I'm saying is going to be quite difficult. But I mean, ultimately, if you believe in yourself and you really want something bad enough, if you really desire it, you can go and get it. And there's many examples of people out there who have come from little to nothing and gone out there and achieved it. But you really have to be disciplined with yourself. You understand?
Absolutely, I agree. So we can't not talk about the Black Lives Matter movement. Kanya
Yeah.
King, the founder of the Mobo, she recently wrote a letter just to the press to talk about calling out racism in the music industry. So have you
Yeah.
faced any challenges as a Black artist in the UK when it's come to obviously reaching your success?
Yeah. Many problems, I mean, have occurred and are still occurring daily, basically. As we know, being Black, just from school, they used to say you've got to work twice as hard, and that wasn't a lie. In the music industry, I mean, there was a point when we was kind of at our pinnacle, and then they kind of pulled the plug on all the gigs and said that you couldn't play out. And like, we had loads of gigs, it totaled up to a load of money, and gigs were just getting pulled left, right, and center. And this again was just because we was Black, and they were saying no crews could play out. But then at the same time, you had big football matches going on and riots and people out doing their kind of thing. But then they was pulling like gigs of like 1,000, 2,000 people, or even less than that certain times. I mean, and that was just straight down to racism. Again, think that they bring in a 6ix9ine form for like promoters, but again, it was for the ethnic promoters really, that you had to fill in these forms if you wanted to put on an event. But then it was for no other people or races were getting dealt with like that. In terms, again, it's just for the Black people and the Black club circuit. They just tried to, with everything. You know, I mean, like, the music industry is the music industry, but I always explain to people this: England is a racist country. Ultimately, it's built off racist foundations. You understand? So once you're in the country, the bottom line is it's a racist country. You understand? Whether people want to like it or not, I've always cut things to the bottom line, and that's what it is. Yeah, things are changing, and some things are getting better here and there, but by and large, the country's been built on racist foundations, and those foundations have not washed out yet. It's still going to take quite some time for them to wash out, if they even ever do wash out, because there's still people in power who don't really want them to wash out. They don't want things to be
Exactly.
even.
And that's the thing, racism comes from policies. So if you even look at the situation with the GCSEs and A levels, those policies was going to disadvantage people who were from minorities. It was really clear cut. You had even experts saying it, but they still went ahead with it. And then it turned into a
Yeah.
big thing. And where I believe, some white people got involved in that whole fiasco, that's kind of when I found that they kind of went back to the drawing board. But if it was only impacting
Yeah.
ethnic minorities, that policy would have stayed. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's right. And there's loads of policies. Yeah, that's exactly right. And you're right, because there's so many policies and loopholes for black and ethnic minorities. You understand? It's ridiculous. But again, it's what it is. And like, to me, it's not really about moaning about it, because it's just not necessarily going to change anything. You understand? You just got to be resilient. You understand? And kind of set your goals, set your targets, and kind of move to it. It's not their problem to solve ultimately. You understand? It's for the black and ethnic minorities to kind of band together and show unity and a love and a respect for one another, and to build, you understand, build our own things. You understand?
You know, there's a divinity that I feel that comes from Black and African energy. And
Yeah.
you know, that's why you have so many people from different cultures buying into our culture. And you know, they call it cultural appropriation. I use all of these terminologies, but ultimately it's because we have something that means a lot. We have something that you just cannot find with anybody
Yeah.
else. And people understanding how special they are, understanding what they are on this earth, is going to really help them to be proud and stand their ground and not try to assimilate. Because I find there's a lot of people who, when they make it, they forget where they came from. And I think being
Exactly.
able to make it and be your authentic self and then bring up the next generation is actually where it's at.
Was exactly, yes, exactly. It's so well put. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm all about. And again, it's just by leading and like setting examples and leading by examples, you understand, trying to build a business, you understand, and like grow, and then again, like you said, bring the next generation without trying to change and be feel pressurized into change. Because you're right, so many like people make it and then they switch because of the pressures and whatever. I'm not too sure what it's like right at the top. I've been, you understand, into certain circles, but again, you've got to have your integrity. You understand? You've got to keep your integrity. And I mean, it's down to each individual. I can't really comment for everyone else, but all I can say is what I'm actually about and what I'm trying to do, really and truly. But yeah, what you're saying there is 110% right, man. Too many people go up there and then feel they need to change.
Yeah.
And yeah, going back on the other thing you said as well, like everyone knows it. Black people were the first, you understand? We're the original people, and ultimately we've got the essence, you understand? That's why everyone, they love us, you understand? They love us so much that they hate us, because they like, wow, these guys have got it, you understand?
Yeah.
But again, with the other, I mean, what is I find with people, they just got to drop their shoulders and relax, man, you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Yes, and they say black people got a chip on the shoulder, but we ain't really got no chip on the shoulder. We're out there having fun, doing what we're doing and living. Yes, and they're trying every angle to stop us having fun, everything to slow us down, to stop us. You understand? And we're still prevailing. And they're wondering, like they're scratching their head, like, geez, these men are still, no matter what we do, they're still on it. But it's because we're the original people, we're the essence. You understand?
Yeah. And you know what, saying that, one of the things I don't feel like I see enough, which is a shame, is I don't see that the pioneering black artists in the UK, I don't see them getting enough kind of credit for what their contributions are to the art. And I also don't see them getting the financial endorsements that really should go with that contribution. Do you agree? Or okay, because obviously I can only see it from my perspective, but there have been so many black artists that have broken boundaries, and you see pockets. It's few and far between, and it's a shame, because again, what you guys have been doing for decades needs more credit, needs more celebrating, and needs more payment as well, you know.
Yeah. No, there's definitely truth in what you're saying there. And again, just the world in general is not a fair place. So again, you've got to understand that and accept it for what it really is, you understand? And know that when you're on a certain path and you're trying to do a certain thing, you're not necessarily going to be given the accolade and the credit that you may feel you deserve, because of just the politics and the way that everything's set up. But I mean, again, for someone like myself, I'm still going to prevail and push down the boundaries and try and make it easier for the next generation. You understand? It's kind of like the Moses situation. That Moses led the people out of Babylon. He didn't necessarily take them into the promised land, but he got them all the way close enough, basically. And then someone else took over and crossed the people into the promised land. So as long as everyone just plays their role and understands their role and what they've got to do, then yeah, it is what it is, man. You can't be too upset again, you understand? You've got to kind of take the ego out of it, you understand?
Yeah, exactly. And where we can control it, we can, and where we can't, we can't.
Yeah,
But no, I think
that's
it's
right.
really, you know, with your label, I think there's got to be more soldiers on the ground like yourself who, again, recognize where the pitfalls are and are trying to create like a new path for others to hopefully get more kind of success from an industry that, you know, we are such a
Yeah.
massive part of
Oh,
the
yeah.
culture.
Exactly.
And,
Yeah. That's
you know,
right.
and I do hope that one day, and I pray that one day, that we get the recognition that we deserve. This is not begging to be at the table. We are the table. And I
That's
also want
right.
the children to understand their worth, because
Yes.
when I was young,
That's so important.
yeah, when I was younger, I wasn't like this. Do you know what I mean? I'd always felt as though I was just a little bit
Uh,
kind of subordinate, you know. But there was just so much that I recognize now that I didn't know then. But I
that
didn't
didn't know.
have a lot of examples to follow. I didn't have a lot of people to aspire to
Yeah.
in those days. You know, I'm
Yeah.
35. You know, still young, but still it. You know, we have progressed massively in a
Yeah.
short amount of time, and I hope that the youth can look up to people like you and look up to
And,
people like
and, and yourself.
Stormy.
And yourself. And
Oh, and
yourself, man. And you're talking.
myself.
Yeah, you're talking the real things, man. Again, there's platforms like this, you understand?
Yeah,
What's going to educate the masses as well, you understand? And you
yeah,
understand?
yeah,
Every little helps, man. So, yes, it's all of us. We're all pitching in and we've all got a part to play, basically. We've all got a responsibility to
yeah,
pay and to try and, yeah, to make that change. Because you're right. There wasn't that many examples. And even now, they make it very difficult for people who are stepping out and trying to be different and trying to speak out. They make it very extremely difficult for these people. And so that's why a lot of people are scared to even step out and be who they
yeah,
really are. And, you understand? Be the shining beacon of light that they should be. You understand? A lot of people are scared because
yeah,
of, you understand, the pressures, and people have got bills, they don't want to lose their job and they don't want to seem to be the one to speak out and then cut down. And yeah, man, it's treacherous out there, man. But again, we just got to fight and campaign on, man, you understand?
yeah.
And try and be the change that we want to see ultimately.
Exactly, exactly. And I like what you said about taking the ego out, because you need to do that when you're trying to make changes for others as well. If you put yourself at the center and you think about, like you said, you know, the negative things that might come directly to you, then, you know, we're kind of missing the bigger picture. You know,
Yeah.
for me, the last thing I worry about is popularity, because I talk about things that people don't want to talk about. They're not the things that are going to get you 1,000 likes. They're not the things that's going to
Yeah.
2,000 followers, but it doesn't matter to me, because I know that even if I can, one person at a time, make a change and open their eyes to, whether it be a white person who understands actually these are real issues and I didn't quite understand, or it's a black
Yeah.
person, they actually, I'm worth so much more than I've been told by all of these massive media companies and the magazines and the films. Like my daughter, she when she watched Annie, the black version, this girl, all she talks about is her afro. Oh, mummy, I want my afro out. Mummy, I want my afro out. But before that, she was talking about, oh, mummy, I want long hair like Elsa. But once she
See, yeah.
saw someone that looks like her in a role like Annie and being the
Yeah.
star, she just
Yeah.
changed. She changed.
Yeah. That's right. And that's what we need, more of this. It's brilliant, man. It's happening, and you know, some people are awakening. We're kind of getting together, and change is coming, man. Yeah, it's good, and that's such a good, like, it's really good hearing that back, and yeah, and hearing the positive effects, man. So this year we just need to be doing more, man. Yeah, it's good. It's very good. It's very good. Yeah, man. Even that's giving me an extra good energy, man, just to
Oh,
continue
good.
pushing, and yeah, to push harder, man.
Good, good,
It's
good.
good. We need to be into, like, the media. It's good. I've got I'm, well, speaking on this, to touch what it goes through, like, to do a TV show, because it's good. As soon as you said that, it just made me think of the TV. When people watch the TV, it's like such a powerful medium. When you see things on TV, you believe it, basically.
Yeah,
So yeah, we've got to kind of use these mediums more and kind of
yeah,
get through it. Another little angle.
yeah,
Words, music's powerful. The
yeah.
visual of TV
Music is
and deep.
powerful. representation is powerful, because again, it has the ability to reach the masses. And like you said, people do believe what they see. And I think the more we're able to, not just because, you know, I have the thing where I think it's great that we have more Black representation on television, on radio, and all these different areas, but I do feel as though we need representation at the exec level, because, you know, I don't believe in tokenism. I definitely believe that we, like I said, we have a rightful place at the table to talk about strategy, to work with, you know, different people to deliver, whether it be television shows or radio shows that are going to continue the message about equality as well, because we get so lost in entertainment. You know, my sister calls it television, because it can tell a lie and it becomes the truth. Whereas when you're more conscious people who understand the impacts of those lies on people's lives, then, you know, we're going to hopefully get less of that and more of the positivity.
Yeah. That's exactly right. Yeah, no, that's right. Television, that's what my dad calls it as well.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But you're right, man. We need, you know what, when you say about the table as well, we need to, like you said earlier, we are the table. We need to bring our own table, not trying to be on their tables and do the token thing. And we need to build up, and if these people are genuine, like they say, then they shouldn't really mind us building up and and setting up our things.
That's exactly. That's exactly.
And this is what we need to do. We need to build stuff for ourselves. Otherwise, we're always going to be, playing that the under role, basically.
Yeah. So, what is your program going to be about?
It's like a music-based entertainment program. So music lifestyle. I'll be interviewing guests. We'll have a live performance, and I'll be doing like a countdown of like the underground music videos. And again, I'm going to try and keep it to underground and unsigned artists, because I'm all about kind of working them and building up the underdog. Because the underdog is often overlooked and stuff like that. So yeah, man, everyone deserves a fair chance, and so that's I'm going to kind of more home on the underground talent and kind of nurture it from the grassroots.
That is so good. But yeah, I mean, that's all my questions that I had, to be honest. And it's so nice to hear the things that you're doing, because again, you're consciously thinking about not just bringing up the next generation, but bringing up, like you said, the underdog, because the underdog is always forgotten. And sometimes the underdog doesn't see a future or something to aspire to. So when you are targeting those people, you know, that's when you see real change happening, because everybody else on top is already kind of being looked after.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly that, man, the underdog. And that's where the real passion and the drive and the ambition is there certain times. So yeah, man, we have to find that and nurture it, man. Find the diamonds in the rough, as they say.
And we all need to win. We all need, there's enough for all of us to win.
Exactly. I wish more people knew that and understood it. It's like an openness out there, and there's an abundance of wealth out there in the world. There's an abundance of everything, land, space, everything. And it's just certain people that's being so greedy with it and trying to capture everything and monopolize it. When there's really no need. There's enough. Yeah.
Exactly. What are you gonna do with all of that? It's crazy. But just got to, like I said, you got to be resilient, and you got to just be strong and disciplined in whatever you want to achieve, and you will see it. You will see it come to fruition. So, and I think you're the example, because again, you're still around. You're still gigging, you're still positive, you're giving back to the community. So, you know, no matter what kind of where you came from, you can get to a position where you can have your own success, but also help others.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, man, that's right. As long as that's what you want to do, that's in your heart, there's always room to help, man. And sharing is caring. Now, again, these are things that I pride myself on in my office in the studio. That's where I'm at now. These are words that we've always flinged around. Teamwork makes the dream work. Sharing is caring, and helping to build each other. One hand washes the other hand. All these things. These are things that we've been, we pride ourselves on.
Yeah, exactly. Well, keep on doing what you're doing, babe. Seriously, it's really, really, really good. And thank you for giving me your time today. Like I said, I know you're a busy guy. And
thank you. Sorry to cut you, but I just say thank you. Thank you very much, man.
Yeah. And I
Yes.
need to find like whatever ticket it is to try and come on bank holiday weekend, because I sound like I've got about 4 or 5 chances to catch you.
Yeah, yeah.
And
You've
shake
got
a bit
lots
of
of
the
different
leg.
options. Lots of options there. And you know what? Also, I'm gonna send you our album as well. We've done an album
Yes,
recently. I
please.
must plug that. It's kind of again, it's very different from my other stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of like soul R&B, the whole album.
Oh,
And again, it was kind of we made it during the just before the lockdown. We kind of gave it out as a free download throughout the lockdown. So I'll send it to you.
yes.
But it's all about men talking about their feelings. It's all about relationships and like things from a man's point of view, relationship wise and stuff like that. So
That's really good.
yeah,
Because one of the things I think is really important is for men, the whole kind of persona around having to always be strong and not showing your emotions. I think that that's really negative, especially if, we've all would have experienced some type of trauma. So we need to be able to have an outlet to release some of that. So the
that's
fact that
exactly
you've
right.
done that, again, I was just talking to someone about that the other day. So it's
Mm.
crazy that you've actually got a track that actually encourages that.
Yeah, yeah. It's the whole album. The whole album is
Whole album,
about
there
that.
you go,
It's
a whole
almost
album. There you go.
yeah, it almost kind of borderlines of mental health and just men speaking their feelings. But a lot of time men hold everything in. We don't speak our feelings, you understand, when we are hurt, if we're in love, or you understand, thinking, yeah, the album, it kind of really goes through all the emotional turmoil of a guy, and it just says, yes, open heart kind of letter from a male's perspective. Yeah, like all about love, relationships, pain, and all
Yeah,
that kind of
I'll send that.
stuff.
I'll completely send that with this podcast, because again, I think that having a bit more exposure and promotion of that, just to normalize it, it needs to be normalized across the board, so that, I always said that I would buy my girls therapy, because I said to have someone independent to talk to about your feelings is not a bad thing. There shouldn't be a stigma attached to that. You've got your mum, you've got your friends, but sometimes having an unrelated person who carries
Yeah,
zero judgment and has zero knowledge about your history
what's yeah, it's
allows
priceless.
you to be more free.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. You can just talk up. Yeah, man, that's right. The album is very therapeutic. Um,
Good.
but I'll let you be the judge of that. But yeah, we've had really good feedback from definitely a lot of females and guys really opened up and said, "No, man, this is that you man hit home here, man. Like this album had me in my feelings and made me think about certain things and what else." So
And did you find it quite therapeutic writing and doing it?
yeah, I did actually. I mean, it's weird because the album is myself and Sweet Pea is one of the artists on the label. And we wrote the whole album. And like bits of it, like we were both going through stuff and wrote the album. And again, like a testimony to what the album is actually about. We didn't actually speak about what we were going through. During we was in the studio every day with each other, vibing, writing this whole thing, and we didn't even speak to each other. Like what? And it's only at the end of the album we kind of had a conversation like, wow, what's that? What he's actually going through? Oh, see, and then it's like, oh, okay. And then that whole thing even became more powerful to us because we realized, wow, this is actually a real landmark. Like,
Yeah.
it's like speaking up feelings, but we've actually made the whole album and we've not even spoke about our feelings to each other. And we're here day in, day out with each other.
Yeah. But you did in
So,
the end, because that's the thing. Things are a process. You took the step by first, even writing it and recording it, and then you get time to have a review and evaluate what you've just done, and then you were
done.
still able to address it. So it's,
Yeah,
it actually shows you that when you're opening up, it doesn't automatically mean that you're ready to talk about things, but you've taken
yeah,
the initial step, and then when you get to the end point, there's like a freedom, there's like a
freedom. Yes,
weight off your shoulders, and you're like,
yeah,
why have I never spoken about that? Why,
yeah,
and I ask that question all the time when I release something that I've been keeping in. I think, why did I not do this ages
yeah.
ago?
Ages ago. Yeah, yeah, no, I know that feeling. Yeah, man.
But
I know
yes,
that
thank
feeling.
you very, 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 very much. And I say it and say it again. You are a legend who's done so many good things for our community and other communities as well, because, you know, you're universally loved, you know. I look forward to seeing you more, hearing you more. I'll share the album, and so much love and blessings to not just you, your family, the rest of the group, your label, and I wish nothing but success to you all.
Now, man, big thanks to you, Dee. Thank you for having me, and I'm sending the love right back to you, man.
Cool. All right, my love. So I'll send you all the stuff when you know when it's live, and I hope you enjoy it. Listen back to it, because I've really enjoyed
Yes.
having a convo.
No, man, it's likewise I have, man. It's been really good, man, and good, like, thought-provoking still. So thanking you again for having me. And yes, we will. I look forward to watching it back.
Definitely. All right, my love.
All right, man.